I1 Gerald's I-45 now, our continuing coverage of election season 2022. Taking a look now at District 1 in Texas City. This is the seat held by Keith Henry, who resigned from that office or won't be running for re-election in that office because he is going to be running for state representative, and he's been on that campaign trail. He's still technically on the commission, but these are three candidates looking to replace them. We couldn't get all three candidates together at the same time for a forum. So to be fair, we did arrange special meetings with each one of them and ask them the same 5 questions. What you'll be seeing here are their answers to those questions. We're rotating who gets to go first. And at the end, they get to give their final pitch to you, the voters here. So we're sorry we didn't have this before early voting started. Schedules just didn't allow for our timing and their timing to all work out, but we appreciate the candidates coming on with us. And those candidates are, by the way, I should point out, Gilbert Robinson. He is the former fire marshal in Galveston, retired some years ago from that after 16 years of service there. Then DeAndre Knoxson, who is a process operator out at Eastman Chemical in Texas City. He's also, by the way, active on some of the city boards, particularly the public housing board in Texas City. Then Earl Kenneth Alexander. He works at college in the mainland, but he's also the former District 1 city commissioner as well for Texas City, who came on with us. So we appreciate all three of them coming on with us. And first question we asked them was a simple one. Why should the voters of District 1 pick you to be the next city commissioner?
Well, I have over 40 years in governmental experience. I used to work for the city of Galveston. I retired there for 36 years, and now I'm employed with another government agency, and just to continue on my experience into more of governmental experience. And I think I have a lot to bring to the city of Texas City. You know, my years of experience being chairman of different affiliations, and also just being a team player.
I am a 35-year resident of District 1. I've been volunteering in this district for over 30 years, from being student role model to Lamarck ISD's Volunteer of the Year to one of the mainland leaders. Even as a teenager, I was named Father of the Year by Mainland Head Start. So I've been very active in this community for the last 30 plus years.
I believe I'm the best fit candidate for District 1 because I truly represent the people. I've been grooming my leadership for several years now. Starting from my youth, I've been very involved. For the last 8 years or so, I've founded and funded my own scholarship called Sting to Sting, where I give a scholarship to Texas City High School to a senior pursuing a bachelor's degree. I'm the only candidate in my race who has served or serves on a city board. I'm the vice chair of the Texas City Housing Authority. That's a special note for me because I grew up on public housing, and now I'm sitting at the table to where I can help those families who are on public housing as well. I mentor a group of individuals at the college in Mainland called Minority Men for Excellence. So I'm just truly engrossed in the community. I want to see this community thrive and go in the right direction as the city as a whole, as Texas City is growing.
The second question was this one: crime and gun violence, which has been a very much of a big concern in West Texas City. District 1 encompasses West Texas City. And the question was this: as commissioner, what would you do and policies would you support to combat crime and gun violence within the district?
Well, the first thing I've done, again, being a volunteer of this district for over 30 years, I've been working with the 409 Action Network to try to curb the violence. I've worked with everything that we have had going on, from events at Carver Park. Also, another thing I've done in partnership with my position, I've taken information and literature out from College of the Mainland to some of the crime areas, trying to get students in school. If I can get them, put a book in their hand, I can get a gun out of their hand. So what we've done is we've gone to on-site registration. We had an event where basically for about 4 months where every Wednesday we would invite students to come in and register them, get their GEDs, get them off the street, get them better educated. So again, it's going to be a lot of it's going to take a direct approach. You can't just sit and wait for it to happen. You're going to have to go out there and make it happen. Again, also with the growth of our city, we're going to need more police officers. We know that. And one of the old police chiefs, he used to use this saying. He said, a crime committed is a crime that we fail to prevent. So we got to do more prevention. And again, that's going to be with more exposure, more officers. I know everybody says that, and having more police officers is very costly for a community. But again, that's what it's going to take, and that's what we're going to need, and I'll support that.
As we know, crime and gun violence is rising, particularly here in District 1. But what I would do is, I know the city is working to increase the manpower. The city is growing. I think we're about 81, 82 police officers right now. And the census states we should have at least 2 officers per 2.1 citizens. So we need about 101, 102 officers for that. I know there's been a few grants actually, to help provide the funds for those officers. And so I believe with that, we'll increase the manpower here through the city and throughout District 1. And, we need a police presence here. We need more of a police presence, and also not just a police presence, but a positive one. I think having police officers just drive through the neighborhood, meet the citizens of the city, of this district as well, just gives the people a sense of community, that even though they are police officers, they are still human beings as well. Events such as the Texas City family bike rodeo that just happened this past weekend. I think that was a beautiful thing. The officers are out there teaching kids how to ride bikes. That's what the community needs, things like that. So I think that would help deter some of this crime and violence in our district, in our community.
Well, I have the utmost respect for the city of Texas City Police Department. I haven't heard of any problems. I live here in the city of Texas City for over 40 years, and I see them randomly just patrolling the area, and I live in Ameren Oaks, and recently, within the last year, we had an incident here on my street that I live on, and they had a quick response, and they handled the situation very professionally, and I have the utmost respect for the city of Texas City Police Department. I've been a law enforcement officer myself. I support, proactive measures, and I'm actually want to be a solution to the problem. Bring me your ideas as a commissioner here, and I'll support those ideas. I'm not trying to interfere with enforcing any policies. I have the utmost respect in the Chief Stanton that he will actually bring proactive ideas to combat these situations that we're having here in the city of Texas City.
Next question up. Aside from crime, what is the most important issue facing the district, and what will you do as a city commissioner to take care of that?
I think one of the biggest challenges right now in our district is, the crime and violence, but I think also would be youth. I think youth engagements. I think we're outside of the Carver Park Community Center, which is a beautiful facility, and things that I want to bring to it in particular are nonprofits. I'm a part of a nonprofit where we help high school kids transition to college, the Craving for a Change Foundation. So we help high school kids transition to college, where we assist them with SAT and SAT prep. We sit them down, go over career plans, what best fits them, whether they'll be university, whether it be community college, or trade school. I think that will help deter a lot of this violence in our youth. So just investing back into our youth will help deter the violence and the crime rate.
The biggest city facing District 1, back after Harvey, again, being a volunteer of the district, I walked the streets, and not just walking the streets, but just going around, and we were helping people pull out the wet carpet, and people, all the houses that had flooded. So really what some of the elderly people, some of the older people in our community said was, when that happened, we felt like we were on an island alone by ourselves. They felt like they were disconnected from city government. So the main thing is to make sure we have inclusion, to make sure that all residents feel included. And that's going on. And I am a former commissioner, so one of the things I was very proud of myself was, the thing that I pat myself on the back was, that any elderly person, I would pretty much say about 95%. 95% of the people that called me with a problem, I went to their homes to see their problems. And I had a young lady who was 80 years old say, hey, I've been here all my life and I've never had a city official come to my house. So what that did was that made her feel prideful because somebody cared enough to come and see. So again, and I will most definitely keep that going. Again, not just calling them back, but going to the residents to let them know that you care enough about them to come see what their problem is.
I think communications is the key. I want to bring an ear to District 1. I want to hear what the voters have to say and what's the problems here in District 1. So with that being said, I want to be able to come back in the city and create these meetings here and hear from the public, hear from our constituents here in District 1, what are some of the problems they're having here. I know for the most part it's been lighting, street lighting here, and so that's a big, issue here to combat. And we have to do what we have to do here in the city to improve street lighting here. And I've been hearing that from a lot of constituents here in District 1.
This obviously is a time in which small businesses are really having a struggle thanks to COVID-19 and then the inflation rates there. So we asked each of the candidates this: small business development, what would you do if elected to the city commission to see that the city enhance things for small business in Texas City?
We have a great resource here with the Texas City Chamber, Texas City Lamar Chamber of Commerce here. I fully support them, and I haven't had a chance to meet the director, the CEO of Texas City Lamar Chamber of Commerce, but it's my understanding she's doing a very good job. I've noticed several meetings have taken place here, and we're promoting small businesses to come here in the city of Texas City, and that's the only way we can support our tax bases with new businesses here in the city of Texas City.
Again, having a business degree from University of Houston School of Business, business is my love, business is my passion. I have associates in business from College of the Mainland, which, again, the number one thing that this city can do to increase small business development is, again, we need to better market those businesses. We need to promote the businesses, let people know that they're out there. Again, in business, the first thing they teach us in business is the 4 Ps: place, product, price, promotion. We need to help them to promote their businesses and let people know that we have these businesses in our community, and again, just to patronize those businesses. And we can do that through the city's websites, social media, making sure that we have these vendors at all of our activities. Like, for example, just this weekend, I volunteered with the bike rodeo and all these other things I volunteer within the city. We need to make sure our businesses and local vendors are out at each and every event to promote their businesses, as well as the city and the city officials promoting those businesses. As a city official, how many of us as city officials are going out bragging about everything that we have going on in Texas City? We need to brag about Texas City. Let people know that this is a great place to be. We have businesses here. We have great people here with great talents. So that's what we have to do. Help them with the marketing and promotion to bring people to those businesses.
I think the city is doing a great job right now. There's always room for improvement, of course. But the city, along with the Chamber of Commerce, Texas City Economic Development Corporation, they're doing a fantastic job collaborating together, helping small businesses. I know of a few 6th Street incentives that the City of Texas City Economic Development Corporation is providing. So you're a small business and you come into Texas City, they will assist you with getting your business started and helping you out with curb appeal. If you need to slap some paint on there, they're assisting you with that. I believe the chamber, they offer training sessions for HR personnel, staff, and what have you. So I believe the city is doing a great job as of now with helping small businesses get started. And I believe we have the proper resources to continue to make those businesses thrive here in Texas City.
And our final question to each of the candidates on infrastructure. As the city grows more to the west, there could be more demands on the infrastructure. Also, that means flood mitigation is going to have to be concentrated on more. What are the plans if you were elected to city commission to deal with that?
Well, some of that is going to fix itself. One of the problems before that I had as a commissioner, especially on the west, we had a lot of flooding. And a lot of people didn't understand it. But what happened was back then, houses were built on a 100-year flood plan. Nowadays, the houses are built on a 500-year flood plan. And it's just basically like this. You had a house built on a 100-year flood plan, and you had something built on a 500-year flood plan, and it's called erosion. You know, water, rain, things start to shrink. But the water was going down from the newer developments. Well, I think we fixed that again with the fact that we have the junior high being built on the west end. We had these College of the Mainland expanded, and so basically with these new subdivisions, with these new buildings, they built big retention ponds. So now the water has somewhere to go. And so any products that anything that we have coming forward, we need to make sure that these companies or units or houses, subdivisions that are being built are made sure that they're engineered properly so that the water flows. And if we do that, especially with the expansion of I-45, that's already being recognized. So again, where flooding was a problem, that's an issue that we are starting to fix. And all we have to do is make sure that any new developments that's coming to the west adhere to all of those codes that are required to make sure water flows properly.
I'm aware that the city's getting grants. We have a grant in place. I believe that's going to help out with the flooding. It's going to be a mega pump station, which will assist the current pump stations with pumping the water from the city into Moses Lake, out of Moses Lake into the Gulf. So I believe with infrastructure goes, as long as we get these grants, and I believe we can help pump this side of town, because I know this side of town is more of an older district, and as things continue to spread west, there will be more flooding. So if we get these grants in here, they'll help pump this water out of this side of town.
Well, I'm the type of individual, I ride around the neighborhoods, not only in the daytime, but at night. A lot of things happen at night when people are sleeping. And for the most part, I see the area is pretty quiet. For its infrastructure, it's my understanding that the city fire marshal's office has taken on code enforcement now. So that's a big aspect there that we need to support. And as I ride around here, I see a lot of renovations being done to some of these older homes. And we have to spread the word and be more proactive in federal funds. I've heard the mayor speak about new federal funds being here available in the city, and we have to have town hall meetings to let the people know that we do have federal and state money available for infrastructure.
And then our final bit was we allowed each of the candidates up to 3 minutes. They had the time that they wanted to be able to make their final pitch to the voters. DeAndre Knoxson went first.
So my name is DeAndre, and I'm running for city commissioner here in District 1 of Texas City. I believe I'm the best candidate, as I stated before, because I'm the only candidate running who's truly involved in city activities. Like I said, I have my nonprofit, Craving for Change, I'm a part of my own nonprofit, Extend the Sting, where I assist high school kids transition to college. I'm vice chairman of the Texas City Housing Authority. So I'm just truly involved and engrossed in the city. I want to see, especially District 1, succeed. Often District 1 has been kind of left in the shadows of the city, and I want to bring them to light and continue to help this community thrive. I believe that I'm also the best candidate because I'm the only official who sits on boards currently. I'm part of the Texas City Juneteenth Committee as well, and also I'm also endorsed by the Texas City Police Officers Association they wouldn't support me if I was not truly invested in this community, and that's why I believe I'm the best candidate for this job.
Hello, this is Gilbert Robinson, your candidate for City Commissioner, District 1 of our great city. I've lived in Texas City for well over 40 years. I'm married to my wonderful wife, Gia, and I am blessed with one daughter and one grandson. If elected, I plan to work alongside with other city officials to continue to beautify our great city and to make it a safe place to live. I will work on improvements in our lighting for our streets at night and working with our police department to deter crime and protect and serve our citizens here is a great concern. The enhancement of our infrastructure to allow our fire department and EMS to get to our citizens to render aid and quickly as possible save lives and property is a top priority as well. I will assist our city and county officials to work and inspect our city streets for potholes and high traffic areas. As you can see, improvements are on the way of our schools are in transition to presently not only build safe schools for our children to attend, but also hire and also qualified and dedicated educators to teach our children so they too can learn productive, to develop and upkeep our parks and recreation facilities so our children have a safe place to play and create friendship and detrimental. It all starts at home, our city. Election day is May 7th with early voting April 25th through May 3rd. Come out and have your voice heard and elect Gilbert Robinson as your new city commissioner for District 1. A new face for a new start. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
My closing pitch would be, and I'm proud to say it as I've told people before, I'm a veteran of the U.S. Army. I'm a volunteer in my district. So what I tell them is I've served my country. As a veteran of the U.S. Army, Texas National Guard, I've served my state. And then as a 30-year volunteer, I've served my community. I don't think that any other candidate could say that. I don't think any other candidate probably has won the awards, and it's not all about awards because I never asked for the awards. I just, here at College of the Mainland, being a student, they told us, hey, you not only have a duty to get your education, you also have civic duties. And from there, we start volunteering, registering voters, passing out cards, walking the streets, getting signatures for bonds. So all the things, I've been doing these things since I was 19, 20 years old. Far beyond. So sometimes we have people who are saying, well, hey, I see you out there volunteering. Are you doing it for the voting? So I was a commissioner for 2 years. I've been volunteering for 30. I was volunteering, helping this community out far before I even asked for a vote. Now I'm asking for your vote to help me like I've helped this community for 30 plus years.
Thank you all for watching here today. Again, sorry we didn't have this before early voting started, but we again appreciate the candidates for all coming on with us here with this. We had to get them individually, and we do appreciate them doing them. That's Gilbert Robinson, DeAndre Knoxson, and Earl Kenneth Alexander, all running for District 1 in the city of Texas City. Early voting is underway. Election day is May 7th. If it runs to a runoff, we will have the runoff candidates on with us. Either way, make sure you're watching us on May 7th, election night, for our